What's up, guys? Welcome back to another ASMR video. So, I think it's slipping. Yeah, it is. Let's see if that stays. So, today I'm going to be speedrunning all of my samples in a soft-spoken video. But before the video begins, I wanted to thank y'all for 400 subscribers. It's insane that I get to post, things that I talk about all the time, or like my hobbies. So yeah, thank y'all for all the support. I love interacting with y'all. And yeah, let's get into this video. So all my samples are in this bag. So I'm going to be randomly picking out a fragrance, and then the fragrances kind of that I like, I will I'll look up the notes. Apologies. I think we're good. So, what is it? I'm gonna try to keep each fragrance under a minute. So the first fragrance we have is by Daniel Allen, and it's pronounced "Oh Calm, Oh Calm, Oh Calm." Now this fragrance right here is, I believe, a sandalwood fragrance. I know this isn't even on Fragrantica, but this is like a beautiful, chill, elegant, it kind of reminds me of maybe just like a lazy Sunday and you're lazy but put together. But yeah, it's a nice sandalwood calming fragrance. If I had the notes, I would definitely look it up for y'all. Next, we have Orphan by Diptyque. Now, Orphan is the first Diptyque fragrance that I have smelled. This is a powdery, woody, and aromatic smell. And I find it to be earthy, and I don't think I'm there in my journey yet, but I would say this kind of smells like a mature, maybe like a nice in the office smell, just very calm and relaxed, or like a coffee shop smell that leans more feminine. It is a unisex fragrance, but I do find it to be in that realm. Next we have Herba Pura, or Herba Gold, I'm sorry. And I know this is a fruity fragrance. Personally, I don't like fruity fragrances. That's just kind of how I've been, but it's a very synthetic fruity fragrance, which I'm not, obviously a fan of. Yeah, it's just a bit sweet. I don't even know where you'd wear this without smelling like a fruit basket, but moving on. Next we have the YSL Myself L'Absolute. Now this one, I've had the original myself, and I think I kind of run into the same issue, is that they're so citrus, forward or powerful, that it almost smells like a cleaning supply to me. Like it's just overbearing. And this one is ultra strong. I sprayed one spray of this to show it to a friend, and it smoked out the room. So not my favorite. I know this is super popular, super versatile, super clean. I just don't think this one is for me. So next, now this is Dior Sauvage, the Parfum version. I have obviously never been into the Sauvage line, but I know this is a popular fragrance for really any age group. But yeah, I will say I love their packaging. This was like a little freebie. I was just talking to the Nordstrom or Neiman Marcus lady kind of for a while, and then I ended up with this. This one kind of gives me a similar vibe as myself. I know they don't necessarily smell alike, but it's the extreme like citrus forward, and like the fresh spicy is just too overbearing for my taste. But I know that this, does smell nice on people. It's very versatile, it's very clean. So yeah, I wish these little bottles had an atomizer instead of the oil dabber. Next we have Ocean by PDM. Now Ocean was a fragrance that I got after purchasing the PDM set, and based on the main accords I would think I like this, but sometimes just things don't work out that way. I do get that people relate this to like a pie, and I do see that. Something about it smells, it's just too dark and too rich, but I can't figure out exactly what it is in the notes. But yeah, this is, I know a good amount of people talk about this, smelling like a pie, smelling delicious. It is, I think, a very long-lasting scent. This is overfilled. I filled this up because I was going on a trip. But yes, this, without even opening, is Grand Soir by MFK. And if you're just getting into fragrances or more niche things, Grand Soir is a very popular winter fragrance. It's elegant, it radiates like no other, and it lasts like no other. I remember spraying this on my skin for the first time, and it lasted over 48 hours through multiple showers and hand washes, so it was just insane to me. I do have a bottle. I do not find myself wearing it extremely often, but it's a nice amber, vanilla, long-lasting fragrance. Next, we have my first ever decant of Layton, PDM Layton. Now, I think this one and Ocean kind of fall into the same, like, pie, sweet fragrance. Jeez, I'm just prone to dropping things. This is a warm, spicy, fresh, spicy scent. It has a kind of Vicks Vapor Rub opening. I personally enjoy that smell. Some people are kind of opposed to it. There's some apple in here, lavender, bergamot, orange, violet, jasmine, geranium, vanilla, cardamom, sandalwood, pepper, guaiac wood, and patchouli. As I said, this was the first niche fragrance and first PDM I ever smelled, and it was definitely something that hooked me, just because it was so unique and different from anything I'd ever smelled. Would I buy it now? No. For me personally. Moving on, we have By the Fireplace by Replica. Now, I've smelled this on myself and other people. I do find it to be a bit strong for my own liking, but if I were to wear it, I do 1 to 2 sprays. I would say this is another long-lasting. I feel like anything with this color of fragrance lasts just incredibly long. But again, it's very, I would say, woody, vanilla, maybe like a little incensey, but yeah, woody, vanilla, warm, spicy. It's a good fragrance. I don't know if I would personally buy a full bottle. Next, we have another look. Anything with this color, really. Similar colors. Anyways, here we have B683 by Marc-Antoine Barrois. Now, B683 smells very similar to Ganymede. I think with just like a hint of leather. I think it's personally awesome. I don't have really like the events to wear this type of fragrance to, but I do find it as a good, nice, like chilling fragrance as well. But that's me personally. It has saffron, black pepper, nutmeg, red chili, violet leaf, musk, labdanum, amber, ambroxan, patchouli, sandalwood, and oak moss. So no leather. I was wrong, but yeah, I would assume kind of anything by Marc-Antoine Barrois kind of lasts a while. So yeah, I think we're running low here. Next, we have Illusion by Reinvented. Now, this is a fragrance I wasn't planning on. Like, I didn't think I would like it. There's fragrance everywhere. But yeah, without looking at the notes, even though I know it, it's just like a sweet kind of cotton candy, rose, like a little more fruity fragrance, which again I'm typically not into, but this one smells different and nice. And the notes on this is dried fruit, cotton sugar, juniper berries, rose, saffron, closed buds, sweet vanilla, amber, cedarwood, and a couple other things. But this one was definitely interesting. I've never heard of this brand, so that was fun for me. I only have a couple more here. Again, I think it's the third one I've dropped. Okay. So after shaking it, this is the Bianca Latte. This is very popular on TikTok. I think really most fragrances I have is popular on TikTok. But that's just kind of how it goes. I should have gotten Bianca Latte instead of another fragrance, but it is too late now. I personally love Bianca Latte. It smells like a hot chocolate. People say it has a synthetic opening. They may be right, but that's subjective, but I personally enjoy it through and through. It's vanilla, sweet, caramel, honey. Yeah. I think the fragrance lasts a good while. And I I would think you can find it for about $100. I think it's worth the money. But moving on, this is Galloway. Again, I've filled this one up as well. It smells weird in this particular container. I own the full bottle, but people say it's a little too peppery. I always bring it as an option, as I think it's a refined fragrance for like errands and stuff like that. Just a little more put together, a little more elegant, so to say. So I personally like it. Yeah, that's all I can say. Now this one is by Creed. I always forget how to pronounce it, but this one I believe is like a fresh, spicy, and fruity fragrance, and I always like it when I first smell it again, but after like the second or third time of wearing it, I'm not the biggest fan. It doesn't really project off my skin either, so even when wearing the sample, to me it kind of feels like a waste of time. But everyone's skin is different. And lastly, we have Ganymede by Marc-Antoine Barrois. I've always, like, ever since I've smelled it, I've been in love with this scent, and that's kind of what got me into the scent in the first place. But yes, that is a nice, like, an aromatic, mineral-y type scent. Let's see. Mineral, warm, spicy, leather, woody, oud. I typically don't like oud. To me, you can't smell it. But yeah, I believe it's like a beautiful fragrance, and it reminds me of like cool weather in, it doesn't matter, just cool weather in general. But that is my speed run of all my fragrances samples. I hope y'all enjoyed, and thank you again for 400 subscribers.